the ground, right? Because he was a way better grappler. But if Chandler could just go, so I feel like his last fight when he fought, can't remember who it was. He just went
Carlos Lopez?
Balls to the wall. Now he just went a little bit less balls to the wall. So I think he's trying to find that happy medium to where, okay, where can I go? Because he came back to the corner. He was like, guys, give me a combination that you think will work, right? That's what the commentator said. So for me, when somebody is asking for that type of guidance, he's still trying to get accustomed to this new style. And I texted him this morning. I said, dude, great fucking fight. You're still a savage. And he goes, yeah, hey, I wasn't 1,000. I wasn't, at a 12. I was more like a 6 or 7. I'm like, yeah, but that's okay. You can still continue to build. So if he fights Conor isn't going to walk him down like that. Conor's going to get out there and dance. And Michael Chandler's going to be able to set up his shot to where Oliveira, he walks down in that void and he forces somebody to fight. And then when Chandler would do 1-2, he tries to run back out, and that's when Oliveira catches him. And I just think Charles Oliveira is at this level now in the game where I agree with you. He's realizing that he has such an advantage over people in the grappling aspect, and he took it there. And once he got the body triangle, and you saw Michael Chandler, he came back to the corner. He was the only other fighter ever here to say this, is I took that round off because I wasn't going to try to make a mistake to try to get out, right?
Oh, yeah.
What was his name? Hiroshi Hudo said the exact same thing. If he was to fight Aljamain Sterling, he goes, if Aljo gets my back, I'm taking the round off because I'm not going to get him the fuck off my back. And when Chandler said that, okay, so we knew he didn't want to do anything on the ground, and he didn't want Charles Oliveira on his back, and I wouldn't want that motherfucker on my back either because he's so hard to get off, and he's longer than Chandler. Once that body triangle gets locked up, it's like, hey, the round's over unless I'm going to twist and get out, supposedly. So... I mean, it's a hard thing to solve, just because where does Chandler go next, right? I think the only fight that makes sense is Conor McGregor, but other than that, who's going to fight Dustin again? Who's going to fight Gaethje? Where does Chandler go from here? Obviously, Charles, he's going to fight the winner of Islam versus Arman, but for Chandler, what does he do next?
I mean, first of all, I don't want Charles to fight the winner of Arman versus Makhachev.
Really?
That's one thing. I'll get to that. Okay. But maybe I'll start with it, seeing as you're so recoiling and you don't understand that take. I think you should be on a win streak to fight for a title in the UFC.
Okay.
He lost his last 2 fights to both Arman Tsarukyan and Islam Makhachev. And listen, maybe if Arman Tsarukyan beats Makhachev and they're like, okay, the Oliveira Tsarukyan fight was very competitive. We're going to run that one back. Makhachev's not ready for a quick turnaround, for an immediate rematch, or whatever reason it is. But if Makhachev were to beat Arman Tsarukyan, I want to see Makhachev move on to his next legacy. You know what I mean? Like, he needs to chase something more. It's not just, you've beaten Arman Tsarukyan, now back to Oliveira, and here's Poirier on another win or two, and Gaethje hasn't fought Gaethje yet, but I do want to see something new for Makhachev, because I don't know, I feel like
Neff, what up, homie? Been a while. What's good, OG Sneaks 420? It was cracking.
Or another
Thanks for subscribing to the new channel, man.
Rematch. And Oliveira was a champion, and he did defend. Even though
we're about to season up this piece of meat right here, and then I got some garlic noodles going. Basic dinner tonight. Let me pat this dry.
I'd love to see Oliveira take on the winner of the Moicano versus in like a big pay-per-view spot. And then, you know what I mean? And then you can get one of those names in that big fight between Moicano and Pimlet into the top. That's their, like, not stepping stone, but that's their...
Cheers, let's take a hit. Oh yeah, homie, good to see you all. Cheers, man. Thanks for being here, everybody. First hit of the stream. Welcome. Just listening to MMA Guru, DJ talk.
Poirier, Oliveira, Chandler versus all of them, and then nothing really happens until Gaethje fights a Fiziev or Poirier steps down and fights a Benoit Saint-Denis. So I'd like to see Oliveira fight one more, or I'd like to see Oliveira just action on because I want to make a lot of money. That can stand alone as a main event for pay-per-view. Well, yeah, 1,000%. I think 1,000%. But McGregor could as well on top of the pay-per-view. But I think Oliveira has the status as a fighter that warrants him being in the main event of the pay-per-view. Whereas Chandler is, he may be ranked number 7. But Chandler, I I mean, I'd like to see him run it against an up-and-coming contender in the lightweight division. He's had a very UFC-friendly he comes in, he gets Dan Hooker for a title shot, Oliveira, Gaethje, then he gets
W. Jordan, W. Steak, hey, finally, cheers, shot, not cheers.
And then he gets, I believe, Poirier. There might be another fight in there that I'm forgetting about. And now it's 2 years off, and McGregor fight's waiting in the works. I'll see elimination about position. Let's restore order here and have him, let's have some justice and some parliamentary procedure here, where he takes on a contender that's on the up and coming, maybe like a Siam or someone like that, someone who's put in the work, got themselves in the rankings, and if you can bounce back there, you can talk big fights again.
Man, I forgot about Chandler versus Moicano, and I actually kind of like that too. Why not give him the opportunity to fight Charles Oliveira, and then if Islam is able to get past Armin, then lightweight they don't have to be welterweight, and the welterweight champion right now, who's the welterweight champion right now? That is Bilal Muhammad.
No, this isn't like the proper cut of steak. This isn't like a proper cut of steak. This is like for stew. This is like a piece of meat for stew, but I didn't really know. I thought I knew, but I didn't know.
So it's an interesting thing, but I agree with you. I think if you let Islam fight Armin, and then if Armin wins, we can figure that out. But if Islam is able to beat Armin, why not give the winner of Moicano versus Chandler versus Charles Oliveira, and the winner of that could fight Islam if they're going to get past it? So I kind of like that. That's one of the things about mixed martial arts. When you watch it, you almost forget about what's on the horizon when it comes to the lightweight division, right? Because everybody's just remember what just happened last night, which was, Charles Oliveira, right? I was like, oh man, he needs to fight the winner. And it's like Islam already beat him and finished him, if that, right? And then Armin fought him, and Armin beat him too. So I can see that, but I like that path that you said just now. Have Moicano and him fight, and then winner of that can fight Charles Oliveira. The winner of that gets a title shot. And then, Michael Chandler, he can fight an up-and-comer, or Michael Chandler just waits there for Conor McGregor, or Conor McGregor versus Charles Oliveira for a money grab. That's an absolute banger. Oh, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot there. You did a nice beautiful spread.
Nick is dropping some dimes of suggestions to talk about.
Oh, boy. What do you chew out of it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. There's a lot of topics there. Apparently some things different now. He said, what do you guys think about Matt Holloway versus Michael Chandler? Chandler mentioned it in his call-out. I don't mind that matchup. I do think that Chandler needs to, super fights aside, I think it's time for the common man of the lightweight division.
I can't tell if that glove really keeps. Wait, I just joined. What is he cooking? Because it looks so damn good. What's good, Fatima? I'm about to make some garlic noodles and just a piece of steak. Hope everybody's doing good, man.
Going to take on Holloway Chandler, but apparently they want to talk about Tyson Paul and Till versus Tommy Fury getting announced today. Darren Till, Tommy Fury got announced. That's pretty good.
I think if Darren Till is able to knock out Tommy Fury, I think you see Darren Till versus Jake Paul, which would be an interesting fight. And the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul.
All right. Let's throw some butter in here.
8 years old, and he just came out and said this. He said he almost died over the summer. He had to do in June. He had to get blood fusion. He lost, I think it was 8 pounds. It was a lot of weight before getting the opportunity to fight Jake Paul. Now, for me, when I see that, I'm shocked the commission allowed that. Because I'm sure if I get my championship, I almost died. I had to get so much blood transfusion. No way in hell they're going to fucking give me the green card to go fight in mixed martial arts, let alone boxing, even if I was 8 years old. With that being said, I'm happy for my Tyson to make that money. I'm happy that he was able to usher in a new thing for boxing and for Netflix to be able to give Netflix an opportunity to use that platform. It is free. Taking a step back and look at that for Jake Paul, my biggest thing is I love Jake Paul. I think what he's doing in boxing is absolutely amazing. But I still believe that there's somebody that's his age that he can fight. That's 7-2 or 10-1 or whatever it may be. But that's not the point. Tommy Fury. And Tommy Fury beat him. So
Now, now I've made a fucking great mess. You're cute, you're single. You already know. Now I've made a great mess that I gotta clean. It's whatever. Mess is coming. Greatness is forever.
Find another guy who came down on Sunday 3 and I'm fighting. We're talking about fighting. Now, stop it, nonsense. Stop it.
I know. I will say, and maybe we'll end it here on this final note. My thoughts on the go through Mike Tyson fight is society is collapsing. It's a shame what we're seeing. I think money is controlling morals.
Sorry, I'm just trying to press it down.
I think there's certain levels that should be left alone, but money can impact everyone. And I understand Tyson taking the fight, even if he wasn't in great conditions. But certain money is just, it sets up your future generations, and instead of just you and your kids, you can know that when I'm gone, the ones beyond me are going to be okay as well. And you also think, you look around your people and you see others struggling around you, and you think, well, I could help them. Am I a piece of shit for not accepting a 30 million payday against Jake Paul when I know so-and-so who lives down the street, his mother's struggling? I could easily get him the half a, what I do. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just think it was a damnation to start with Jake Paul. I don't like this, the goofiness and the charade of that type of thing. I think Jake Paul should be getting in there with some better names. But who knows? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens moving forward. Yeah, I'm looking against Jake Paul. There's a 1 in 1,000 chance that you could see him.
Sorry.
I mean, after Mike Tyson's talking about his blood transfusion, there was a chance he could have, so I really don't know how the commission allowed that. But I'm going to save my judgment for the true evil, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Rather than just, we'll leave it there.
Yep.
Thank you for having me on this.
Of course. Well, Guru, is there anything you want to let the fans know where they can follow you and how they can support you? Because, like I said, a lot of people out there aren't a fan of his content. I love his content. I think it's great. It gives me a good laugh, and I think sometimes that's what people need in life is a good belly laugh. So, Guru, the stage is yours, brother.
YouTube, the MMA Guru. That's literally all I got. That's where the hub is for everything. Maybe someday I'll branch out. I should be having a sponsor soon. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But we'll see what goes on. Yeah, YouTube MMA Guru. And one message to the fans. I am a piece of shit, but my content's really good. I promise my content's really good. So you will see a clip of me saying something, you're like, what the hell did he just say there? Or what did he just say about this guy? And I'm just like, God, I'm sorry guys, I get caught up in the moment. But try and look beyond how terrible of a person I am. And just enjoy the content for what it is, because it is good stuff, I feel like. I do put out some good effort, high effort stuff.
I would say it is great content and very, very high effort. Boys, that is our guest, MMA Guru. Check him out on YouTube. Thank you once again for coming on the show. I am your host, Mr. Johnson. Co-host, Nick Pappas, Michael Weisover, and our guest, MMA Guru. We will see you guys in the next episode of the Mighty Cast. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Mighty Recap. And this is part of the episode where we recap everything we just went through or talked about with our guest. And our guest was MMA Guru. The biggest thing, and I know it's very taboo, is when you start talking about people's failed USADA drug tests, right? Because we always want to look at it in a perfect world where all the champions or anybody who ever stepped foot in the octagon has always tested clean and had good USADA results.
Well, maybe you should take down my number. Cheers. Hit me on me ejaculator, baby.
In the Mighty Cast channel and
hit me on Instagram. What's good, Philadelphia?
You have brought up, and I think when you look at Jon Jones' legacy, if he was retired now,
your wife send me DMs, baby.
Anybody could in mixed martial arts. Defended on that heavyweight championship, became a heavyweight champion, defended both belts. Something I never did. I was a flyweight champion, and then I went over to one championship. I became the flyweight champion there. It is 135, so it's 10 pounds more than it is in America, but in America we consider 125, 135 flyweight, bantamweight champion. So two different things, but he was able to achieve that. Now there is that cloud looming over his legacy.
Beautiful color.
The 3 failed USADA tests. That's what the producer Nick Pappas brought up into the conversation. Now, what do you do? And when we were talking about the Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones and Jon Jones versus Alex Pereira taking on Magomed Ankalaev, like it's very cut forward, right? Typically, 9 out of 10 times when you have a champion and you have an interim champion, it's always those two are deemed to fight. Now, Jon Jones did come on record saying that he is willing to relinquish his world title, heavyweight championship, in order to pursue that fight against Alex Pereira. Now, Dana White came on record saying that he is not going to make that matchup. If we want to see Jon Jones fight again, if Jon Jones wants to fight again, he will fight Tom Aspinall. And I think that's a big W from Dana White, keeping the champions in line and keeping them doing what they're supposed to do. Like, you're a champion, you're supposed to fight the interim champion or the number 1 contender in the heavyweight division. Now, if he was a light heavyweight champion, then it would be different. He could fight Alex Pereira, but he's not anymore. And then you also have the 1 contenders in the light heavyweight division with Magomed Ankalaev, who's waiting for his opportunity to fight Alex Pereira. Now, if Alex Pereira beats Ankalaev and Jon Jones beats Tom Aspinall, then boom, yes, then you do that super fight. But I think at the end of the day, they're trying to capture lightning in a bottle. And here's the kicker. If you have Tom Aspinall fight Jon Jones, or let's say Tom Aspinall beats or breaks off Jon Jones, then you have another star that's still young, that's able to continue his journey and his legacy on fighting more people. Or if Jon Jones beats Tom Aspinall, then it's of course Jon Jones beats Tom Aspinall. He's a goat. He's a legend. Jon Jones retired, but you still have.
I don't have any social media. Or just gave me back my blend jet.
Hasn't really gone. He's still.
Well, imagine grinding weed in there.
Against Jon Jones, or he loses against Jon Jones. So that star is still going to shine and bright because he's going to fight. And then, regardless of what happens with Jon Jones, he's going to retire. He's 37. He's going to be 38 next July. So regardless, his time here is done. It's not like he can do something more that's going to catapult him to another stratosphere. You get my drift. Then you have, on the other side, you have Alex Pereira. Now, if Alex Pereira just fights Jon Jones and loses, then it's like, okay, well, then Jon Jones retires, and it's okay, you still have Tom Aspinall here, who didn't get the opportunity to fight Jon Jones or beat Jon Jones. And then you also have Ankalaev here, who's like, okay, we're going to fight next. But if you have Ankalaev fight Alex Pereira, he beats Alex Pereira, then it's boom. Or if Alex Pereira beats, Ankalaev, then it almost elevates Alex Pereira even higher. So there's an interesting battle between this this 4 fight, or what do you want to call it, that we cannot figure out what's the best way to navigate it, and what's the best way the fans will navigate it. If, when you hear the fans talk, they want to see Jon Jones taking on Tom Aspinall. And, Jon Jones says he feels that he's done enough in the sport where he can get what he wants. Or give this guy what he wants. And what he wants is Pereira. And he came out and said that he didn't want nothing to do with Tom Aspinall. Before the fight, he says, I don't want to do business with Tom Aspinall. He's just an asshole, blah, 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 blah. Goes up and says that. And he said that if the UFC wants me to fight again, then I want to fight Alex Pereira. If they want me to fight Tom Aspinall, then I guess this is my retirement fight, and I'm going to run off in the sunset. So that was the most thing that got me excited about this fight against Jones and Stipe, was to see what was going to be the aftermath after he beat Stipe, because I knew he was going to beat Stipe. What was going to be the aftermath, because now we have an unconcluded ending to Jon Jones' story. Does Jon Jones fight
flour?
Or does Jon Jones ride off in the sunset?
Damn.
Or does
I don't have flour to thinking on my sauce. Do a
Jon
pull-up,
Jones
bro. I could probably do one pull-up.
That's what makes me more excited about this storyline with Jon Jones. Not that he beats Stipe, but what he wants to do next. Nick Pappas, come in. Know what you think. What do you think, Nick? Right? Because you are a fan. You follow the sport. You do a lot of back work that a lot of people don't realize. Nick Pappas is one of the gentlemen on the Mighty staff team who helps out and makes all the videos nice and sexy for you, beautiful viewers. What are your thoughts when it comes to this whole dynamic of the Jones saga, the Alex Pereira saga, Tom Aspinall saga? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like John versus Tom is going to be a massive fight now. And I was trying to look in the weeds of everything, and I'm someone that falls for promo. Like, I'll watch WWE, and I fall for everything. Like, it's bad how easy I am to convince. And so, even before the Stipe fight, I was like, wow, you know, these promos are looking good. Stipe's a firefighter, he's got some muscles. And so
I think I might cook up a potato.
With up to 20% off select products all through the store and at Aaron's.com. Choose a flexible payment plan to stretch your budget. It's better at Aaron's.
The real reason we want to manage now is
I'm gonna cut up a potato.
that vegetation that starts with the soil.
I buy everything, and part of me is wondering if John was just kind of...
I'ma pop a pill. I'ma pop. I'ma pop a pill. I'ma pop. Oh shit, I have a bigger knife. Everywhere that I go, gotta keep it straight close. I get the right thing to the low, I get the right thing to the low, Look at that. Look at that. Better show me. I just seen an outfit pop like a pill. This shit too real. Gotta keep me in. Everywhere that I go, gotta keep it straight. If I say so, I get the back 10 for the low. I make a fat bitch touch your toes. And go, get down, dog. It's good, Cassie. Aha, I found your channel. I found your tube. I'm from Reddit, not safe from work. Nice. W. Oh, I would do it for normal and wax the steak. I just look you inside the kitchen because I was gonna add with it. couple days at least. And the line up always. So I'm still ready for those. Especially everywhere I go. I got too many of those. These left days though. I'm gonna need a piece of that. Hey, Ray Tejada, shout out to you, man. Got a notification for a new subscriber. Do a pull up. It's low keeping the minutes out of the kitchen. I would buy the rosemary plant and break off a bit out to my steak. Cheers. God damn. Let's season these potatoes. All right, let's cut into this now. I think it's rested for long enough. So what am I supposed to cut against the grain? Yeah. I think the grain is going like that way, so we'll cut it this way, yeah. Oh, I might have overcooked it again, guys. Because this is how it looked yesterday. I kind of did it because it's such a big piece of meat. I wanted to make sure it got cooked. There's still pink in there, so I'm happy with that. I need a better knife though. I for sure need a real steak knife. I need to learn how to cut it better for sure too. No, but this is cooked. This is cooked good. Like there's still red in there. I'll learn how to cut it and cook it better, but I'm happy with that. Check me out. What happened to your camera, bro? You were wild. I'm weak. Yeah, and I'm cheers. I'm rolling a blunt because I found the channel. Nice W. That's this smack one with me, by the way. It looks fire. Cheers. What's good, Jordan? To me, I eat that. Bro, those potatoes are my favorite when they're almost burnt. W stream. I want a Japanese knife, sharp motherfucker just too. I got 2 more of these, or 3 more of them. Oh, I cut it so thick though.
Mrs. Saga, things are so pretty around this time of year. I can't ignore it. I cannot ignore it. Yeah. Mrs. Saga, things are so pretty around this time of year. I can't ignore it. I can only assure it. I've been to New York and I've been to Houston and nothing's better than you, girl. Came to conclusion, yeah.
I could low-key meal prep with this.
That you never should have ever been true. Girl, I know you're 22 and you've seen something that you never should have been exposed to. Yeah, who gotta protect you when you feel you are in danger? You know if you know no new man, you know I'm a stranger. You want to know what you're comfortable. You want to leave it where you're comfortable. I know, no, 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 no. I cannot true, but I know. Mrs. Saga, things are so pretty around this time of year. I can't ignore it. I cannot ignore it. Yeah. Mrs. Saga,
Sorry, I was washing my
things are
hands.
so pretty around this time of year. I can't ignore it. I can only assure it.
Can't let the sun go. Have you ever messed up heavy making something and not being in time to cook with something else? Like like the timing between making a couple things at once? Not that I can remember, bro. I probably have though. Try my hardest to not contaminate this. Cheers, guys. some whipped butter. I did want to make like a garlic butter, but I need to buy garlic. So now I'm just putting butter on my steak straight up like a fatty. Yeah, I didn't make that many dishes this time though. I think yesterday I used more dishes. Oh yeah, bro. 500 subscribers, we're doing a giveaway. I'm giving away all kinds of merch from different weed brands and weed batteries and all kinds of shit. Bro, cheers to some fucking steak. This is way better than yesterday's. Flavor, tenderness, cooked all up. Little garlic noodles. Smells good. Oh. It's hot. Thoughts? Pose. What's good, Yumiko? What's good, Yumiko? Hell yeah, I appreciate that, and I agree. It's hot as fuck. I'm not even gonna eat it.
There's nothing like a reunion.
All right.
There's nothing like.
We gotta listen to this, because I'm not trying to get a copyright strike.
An old colleague, if you will. Yesterday, we had the Welsh gangster. Today, it's the American gangster. There he is, the one and only, my old friend.
My ace. Oh, you can't get one of those hanging ones. For God's sakes, Ariel. You don't leave people hanging.
But what's
This
more
is the
exciting?
big time.
But what's more exciting is that Mrs. Sonnen.
Yes. She's trying to kick heroin for the second time.
Oh, it's so great to have her here.
Keep my eye
Mrs.
on
Sonnen in the building. How are you, sir?
She's not. That's a joke.
I
am doing great, by the way. This is fantastic. I gotta tell you, I used to come to your own studio and I would tease you, but there's truth within every joke. I would come in to the loading dock. They'd send you into the basement. It was like you're going 3 floors closer to hell. It was lined with boxes that I believe were stuffed with Lay's potato chips. This is one of the most beautiful buildings I have ever been in.
Right?
I'm down,
You
Jordan.
made it?
Just talk to John Morgan.
John Morgan, the
Yes.
MMA reporter.
That's right.
Yes.
You know another John Morgan?
It's
I feel like this kid from high school named John Morgan. Like, of course that John Morgan.
Yeah.
I will be hosting this year's World MMA.
Wow, breaking news.
December 5th. Broadcast details to come. Virgin Hotels, Las Vegas. And I
December
told him-
5th, World MMA Awards.
Well, thank you for mentioning it. I will be there as well, hoping to collect number 15.
15. I love it. I love it. Errol, this place is so
You like this better?
It took me to. Do I like it better? For
Wow.
heaven's sakes.
You see
First
the
off,
finance.
Up, I didn't go down.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I just see a whole bunch of things. I
You
was
see
in
the
the
finance?
bathroom here.
Oh.
The bathroom here was fantastic. It was all chrome wall. My dad was a plumber. I know nice bathrooms. This thing was gorgeous. Everything here has been beautiful.
This is amazing because last time you shat all over
It was
ours.
disgusting.
Yeah, and this time you love it.
Yes.
I
I
do-
we're down with the rats in the cellar.
No, I
That
know.
little
I
place.
do feel like Chael's a little bit, he's not lit up properly. We have the in-studio lighting here. He needs to be a little bit brighter, guys. Do I not? Look at that. We look great here, but I feel like the single is a little bit dark on him. Am I crazy, guys? Maybe they'll work on it. I just had to call that out. You know, we're just kind of working through the kinks here, Chael.
George St. Pierre over there.
Yeah, no, where?
Wait, isn't that him with the gown, the karate, the gown, and
This
the
is
lights?
Hoist, but how about the
Oh, that is Hoist.
How about the fact that we've got
Still a compliment.
one of one like that? But what's interesting about it is, I do believe I watched your show with Daniel Cormier.
Thank you.
It's called
Bad guy and the other guy.
Bad Guy and the Other Guy.
Chael Sonnen with
Hawani Sloppy Seconds. I don't see any mention of me on the set.
Still
I
hot.
don't see any reference.
I bet you do. I bet you do. On yesterday's show.
Yes, I did.
You want to know something, by the way? Is that me up there? Is that me in the corner, or is that Rich Franklin?
You're all different. You're here.
Because that, I think, is Vandalay, but it could be Chris Levin, and I think that is Chris Levin. I think that's me, or is that Dominic Cruz? I bought one of those for myself. I bought a little vanity doll for myself, and it came, and I had it up in the office. I put it up to like somebody gave me, can't buy your own doll. And it was like a year before I looked up and go, Dominic Cruz. It actually said Dominic Cruz on the box. I didn't look close enough. That was me.
That was right here. Round 5, they're called. Round 5. I don't remember much.
All week they were talking about the greatest of all time is going to be fighting. I looked everywhere. I didn't see St. Pierre anywhere to be seen.
Okay, let's get into it. I'm so excited that you're here on.
Do you dispute that St. Pierre is the greatest of all time?
So I have 2 lists.
Yeah.
One list is everything goes, meaning if you've popped, if you've done this, that's the everything goes list, and then it's the you never pop list.
Okay, that's fair.
So you never pop list, GSP number 1. And you know I love him, Pride of Montreal. Everything goes list, I have to put Jon.
You put Jon?
Yeah.
But you don't, I don't want to put words in your mouth as a question, but you don't have Jon as the current GOAT, or was the performance over Stipe enough to move him in your mind?
Okay, so wow, we're really getting into this.
Well, are you where Dana's pissed?
Well, Dana's pissed about Dana. We talked about this, I think, in Vegas. Dana confuses GOAT and pound for pound.
That's right.
Number 1. He's making an error here.
You explain this to me.
Yeah,
I understand your
and you agree, right?
Well, I understand your logic. I never brought
Pound for pound number 1 is the current pound for pound king, the current man. GOAT is the greatest of all
Cheers,
time.
everybody.
That could be someone from the 90s.
Correct. So your argument, if I can jump, but just so you know, I listened. Your argument was that Jon, because
drop a
we
like,
haven't
man.
got a recent body of work, has essentially disqualified himself
For every 5 likes,
from the
I do 10
title
push-ups.
because it's not current.
And therein lies the rub.
Sure.
I do believe that the performance on Saturday brings him back to that conversation. I was so impressed with the performance that I now accept Dana's argument and say, GOAT and in the discussion for
I see one more
pound
light.
number 1 current. I still ultimately give it to Pereira, but I think if I were going to Pereira,
Oh, that's a great argument. It just wasn't. I just read this, so I was just influenced as I. Jones was 2. Dana disagreed with that. Believes Jones. And the only reason I bring that up is because it was just between those 2. There was no pair. I like what you're saying about.
who do you have?
No, but
Yeah, we are
let me slow
philodendron.
this down. So Pierre and Jones are even across the board. Both light heavyweights.
Got my
Neither
fruit
one's-
right here.
John's not a heavyweight. He just fights at heavyweight. He and Pierre are way the same. They're the same age of 37 cross. So are you telling me that you believe right now, and after what you saw Saturday, that Jon Jones would beat Pierre? Because DraftKings is a mythical odd. It's a minus 650. 650. Jon is a 6.5 to 1 favorite over Pierre and a mythical one.
It's a little big, but ultimately, if I had to pick a winner, I think I favor him. Did you say that? No, Jon.
Oh, okay. You just said that Pierre and
Oh, wait, they have Alex as the favorite minus 650?
No, Jon.
Yeah, so I agree with the line. I think it's a little big, but I agree ultimately that Jon would be the
Damn,
favorite.
philodendron.
I understand that, but if I understood your list and you've got Pierre as
Yeah.
number
Hope
one,
it turns back on, bro.
To me, pound for pound is a
I hope
mix
my
of,
power don't turn off.
like mythical.
It's gonna be a cold
what
night.
happened, but also, what have you done for me lately?
Sure.
And Alex has won belts in 2 weight classes, has beaten the top guys at 205 and 185. Gon and Stipe are nice, but not exactly the creme de la creme
Say less.
now at heavyweight. If he would beat, say, Francis and Tom, he'd be without a doubt number
Yes.
1.
But you understand where I'm still a little bit confused. You made a great argument. I think I understand it, but it's still at the end of the day, you've got Pierre one,
Yes.
Jon coming down that list, whether he was 2 or 3 in front of Islam, but you are saying you think in head-to-head competition that Jon would beat Pierre.
Yeah.
So doesn't win at that.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting
Okay,
one.
you see where I'm confused.
Sure. Again, it's a what have you done for me lately plus a mythical thing. I've come a long way since last week. If he would have squeaked by Stipe, I would have said absolutely not. In fact, I probably would have put him like 3rd or 4th. I think I might even put Ilya above him. I was impressed, and that brings us to the performance on Saturday. I see a lot of people actually not giving him the credit that he deserves. I see a lot of people saying it was Stipe who was old, too slow. What do you think? I think that's unfair to Jon.
That's not what happened.
What happened?
Father Time did not beat Stipe. Jon Jones beat Stipe. That's just what happened. And to imagine how good Jon could be if he followed some of the laws of logic, if he stayed active, if he stayed consistent. You and I know much about the sport as anybody. I could not tell you enough to bet $1 single. I don't know what gym he trains out of. I don't know. The last I heard about gyms is he was kicked out of his, but I saw Greg Jackson, and there was something there, and there was definitely a facility, but I didn't see any team shots. I mean, it kind of looked like a glorified garage training camp, and I only share that for you. Put two guys in his corner. He doesn't know either one of them. You know, he got some workouts with Gordon Ryan. He basically met Gable Steveson. He put them both in his corner. I mean, this is a guy like old school UFC. I would do that. Put my brother-in-law, I'd call my buddy, my uncle would come because I didn't have a team. So just imagine Jon did, though, and imagine he did stay active. We saw earlier that night proof of what you and I already know, but breaks don't make us better. Time doesn't make us better. We saw that with Chandler. That was Chandler that had missed a step, that just hadn't been in there. He just needed to get some more reps. He did not fight Oliveira as well the second time as he did the first time, and we can directly attribute that to the layoff. He and Jon are the same age. Chandler took what we'll call 2 years off. Jon took 4 years off. Jon would be so much better now, and Ariel, that's a scary thought. That's not exciting. He would hurt people. Jon is sending the baddest dudes in the world to the emergency room. And there is no way that he's fighting to the best of his own ability. It is truly frightening how good he is in this game. Do you disagree with that?
Oh, no, not at all. I was more impressed with that performance than the Surreal performance, if only because I felt like Surreal didn't really show up.
I think they fought.
Yeah, we couldn't really tell who Jon Jones the heavyweight was. A, looked to be in better shape, and showed us the full arsenal. He's essentially the light heavyweight version of himself at heavyweight, and we've never seen a heavyweight throw kicks like that. You know who he reminded me of?
Tell me.
He reminded me of David Loiseau.
Sure.
The guy who's been forgotten. Spinning back kick, remember that?
Trained with him, yeah.
Charles McCarthy,
Sure.
flying knee. You trained with David?
Yes, I did.
Where?
I trained with him at Dan Henderson's gym in Temecula. He was a great training partner. He was a big star. He did things. I was up and coming. He's one of those guys that was very nice. Taught me a kick. He throws his kick straight. He just throws it out and touches absolutely nothing. But you pause and look at it and go, what are you doing? You're doing nothing. Boom, he brings it up to a flip kick. There's a Taekwondo move. And that might even be a basic that some people, but I didn't know it. And he, took the time to show me. And it was very effective. You kick your foot out, it does nothing, but you stand there and look at it. Boom, brings it upstairs, kicks you in the mouth.
And so I see him do that as a heavyweight, blown away.
Are you not interested in the kick? You're not interested
No, but
in the
we're
kick?
trying. I'm the one who brought up David Loiseau. He's one of my favorite fighters.
All right, that's
if
true.
not my favorite fighter.
Okay.
Montreal guy.
That's in Canada.
Yeah. So he wins the fight, and I can't wait to talk to you about this. Like, I was listening to all this, and I was like, oh, I wish we had an arrow in the bad guy. This is last week. This is before I knew you were coming in and gracing us with your presence. By the way, Eddie Atlas dinner on Thursday?
Yes.
See you there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Theodore Atlas Foundation, Dr. Theodore Atlas.
Who are you bringing as a date?
My wife.
You are bringing her. Good.
Who are you bringing as a date?
I'm bringing Douglas Crosby.
One of my favorite people.
Yes. I was hoping we could maybe...
You think we could patch things up?
Yes.
There's a misunderstanding that we have some sort of feud.
Yes, I think that's right.
I think the misunderstanding lies in his.
I think he'd be happy to hear that. He respects your opinion. I think he'd be happy to hear that.
Well, I believe in a world where we're all, peaceful, shaking hands. None of this like Dominic Cruz out of the ability and stuff. I don't want that in my life.
He had gotten in trouble, if we can just digress for just a minute, but Douglas had gotten in trouble. He had worked the Mohegan Sun on a Friday, and on one side of the country. He flew to the other side of the country to work at UFC on Saturday. And I can only tell you, when I was growing up, we credited guys that did that. We called them hard workers. I remember graduating from high school, and they were the kids
Still got potatoes and
pasta. They get an award in front of the whole class, and they go all the way back to kindergarten. It's a very hard thing, but some guys never miss. You would credit things like that. This was looked at as a negative, and we had a athletic commission say, yeah, that was a negative, but they're the ones that assigned him.
Yeah.
And it seemed like he was just doing what was asked of him. And I do think that the punishment, I think any punishment was unreasonable.
Is there?
Has there been a punishment? No, not that anybody's told me. I've asked him that. He will not confirm that. He's busy. He's got a couple of other jobs, and he's a father, and I get that, but I feel as though he's been punished. one of the great judges in the history of the sport. He lives in New York. We were just in New York, and he wasn't assigned. So I'm electing that he's been punished, but he's not actually admitted that.
I understand what you're saying. That was the Bellator UFC back-to-back, which then led to the controversial Jared Gordon, Paddy Pimblett scorecard.
It starts the night before.
And people were saying, like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't be flying across. And I think there's an argument to be made.
Sure.
But ultimately, the guy who's, raising his hand and saying, hey, I'd like to work, it really should fall on the people who are assigning him that work, right?
Thank you.
No, so it is a fair argument. It is a fair argument.
Because they learn too. The commission learned as well. We have some of the best leaders. Mike, come on. We have some of the best leadership. He just hadn't thought of it. Commissioner Mazzulli just hadn't thought of it. He thought, yeah, I can't just get a guy over here. There's jet lag. It just never crossed his mind. He fixed that. That's never happened again. But I do feel as though Douglas had some fallout from that. Not to mention this controversial decision was the way the fight went. It was a split decision, but another licensed judge agreed with him. I'm just saying, it wasn't obvious. And if we have a learning lesson, great. You can't punish a guy for it.
Well, I don't think anyone should lose their job forever.
Thank you.
Based on a controversial scorecard or a weekend that maybe things were a little bit off. That's especially in this sport where there just aren't a lot of people who do this job, and especially being a local show. So couldn't agree more with you on that. So we have this fight, and the reason why I was saying, like, oh, I can't wait to talk to you about this is I love the business side of the sport. And you have Jon, who I said this yesterday, I thought he had his best fight week ever. First of all, the gimmick with the gloves was tremendous.
Did he do that?
1,000%.
Okay. Well, they said he did, and no one denied it.
Great heel work on his part.
Please.
Oh, guys, I don't like the gloves. Do you mind they moved the whole card for him.
What if we would have poked the eye? Could you
That would be Make it the old.
Oh, the best.
Yeah, where are your new gloves now? Yeah, baby. So then they change it. Are you surprised, by the way?
I love that.
Here's my theory.
I love some good MMA talk.
On a core cash this November in the $100,000 mega.
Dana. God bless him. He digs his heels in. They relented. They gave him the old gloves. That would be admitting that you're doing something in favor of one person, right? That would be preferential treatment. Now, you can make the argument that you reach a certain status, you deserve preferential treatment. You've earned that preferential treatment. But I think to go so far as to not have people say you are favoring Jon Jones, they took all the new gloves, they threw them out, and said, all right, we're bringing back the old gloves.
Yes.
I could see him doing that, like going to that extent, just so that people don't say, oh, you're giving preferential treatment to Jon. What do you think?
Well, I think that I agree with what you're saying. I've never actually heard confirmation that is what happened. I read the headline and no one denied it. But I just try to think of those steps. Like, Jon would have to contact somebody with the request in the first place, which is going to say, no, we're not interested, because they would have to get lawyers involved in government affairs, and they would have to come to the commission in New York and redo the whole thing, and perhaps have to put up with guys like us second-guessing it after the fact. I just don't believe that that's a realistic ask on the other side of it. It was reported that's what happened. Nobody said it didn't. So perhaps they did get lawyers, come to a government agency, and redo the entire card. But Jon has been so accused of poking the eye. Chuck Liddell and Jon both got accused of that a lot, and they did a lot of it, but they both had the same mannerism for defense. They would throw their punches, they put their hand out. And it was almost like an old cartoon where you're just trying to put your hand on the guy's forehead, and if you're far enough, he's working up that head of steam.
I don't even know if I want to finish this.
That's essentially what Jon and Chuck both did. They understand how to use reach, and for defense, they would post like that. At any rate, fingers went into the eye, and I don't know what we're talking about. Jon got some rule change. Who cares if he got a rule change, Ariel?
I think it's great heel work, and then you have him saying, Tom's an asshole. I'm not fighting him. I don't like him. He's not respectful. You know what I mean?
You put that tweet out. That was great.
So good. So good on Jon's part. I think this is all great. This is classic. And I'm not calling him a coward, but in pro wrestling, when you're the coward heel and not giving the people what they want, that's great work. That only makes us want him more. What do you think? Based on how this is the Jon Jones who back in the day I used to talk to him, his lip would quiver. He was so afraid to speak to the media because I think he didn't know who he wanted to be, right? I feel like we got a great version of him last week. What did you think?
No, I really enjoyed it too. I know Jon Jones a little bit, I know. But Ariel, every time I talk trash about the guy, it's for the character Jon Jones. The actual Jon Jones that I've been around, that greets my mother with a hug. He moved my mom and dad. I told you that story. That's funny. He greets with Brittany. He won't even call Brittany Brittany. He calls her Mrs. Sonnen. He is such a gentleman. He can take her jacket, he can bring her a cup of coffee. He's such a gentleman. But then the character that he plays, I don't like it. I think it's a little bit tough. I think the real Jon, which you saw this week, Jon's got to have a couple of things. He's got to be a victim, to be in a fight. He's got to be the aggrieved party. The other guy did something to him. That's important. And that's really what gets him going. He can bring out that fight. He can fight. You see those elbows? Yeah. Those had such bad intention. After he threw him down, he grabbed the guy and just threw him down. He's got to be the aggrieved party. And he went as far as to say that Steve May talked about his children. That did not happen. But Jon's reasonable. Today he would tell you it didn't happen. He talked himself into it. And the other thing that Jon really needs is focus. I got to focus on this guy. He's no longer a wrestler where he's got 3 and 4 guys in one day. He's got one guy. And the whole week when Jon was denying Tom, even inserting the name of Aspinall, what Jon did not want to do is to get into the ring and have to deal with Sugar Sean O'Malley had to deal with, which is I got to fight
dinner,
you
guys.
and Rob when you, Nurmagomedov, are sitting right there. O'Malley had to fight 2 guys at once. I didn't like
W
that,
dinner.
by the way. Now, O'Malley
Take a hit
should
with me
hit the microphone, do what he
before
does,
I get out of
his
here.
own career. That happened in the night
Cheers.
with Cheeto. After Cheeto, he's got
I'm just gonna do dishes and clean the kitchen now.
After Moran,
It's exactly what we're about to do, is smack a blinker.
in a game of itches, I don't think that was a fair thing to do to Sean.
Cheers. Have to get a new cartridge soon.
Jon made sure he didn't get in that same spot. And Jon
Berry Kush, can of whoop ass. Cheers.
It's not because he was considering retirement. He knew Steve May was bigger and more dangerous than anybody had ever dealt with, and he wanted to have tunnel vision. And like the great veteran that Jon is, he put himself in the greatest situation for himself. I just want you to make sure you understand what happened there. And Harold, it's relevant because Jon is starting to mark out his own gimmick. He's starting to forget.
Peace out, everybody.
He's starting to forget. Somebody put out a suggestion that perhaps Steve and Jones would retire. So Jones went